things must perish.
In certain parts of South America, that people are dying within a household and the dead bodies are not being collected by the police. So because of lockdown in certain parts of the world right now, you're not even allowed to bury members of your family that die. You have to live with a dead body. I've heard this, and you can research that, you can find that out on YouTube for yourself.
Otro día falleció mi primo, estamos llamando a la policía y no viene.
Los expertos médicos, lamentablemente, nos han dicho y estiman que fallecidos en estos meses llegarán entre 2.500 a 3.500 por COVID, solo en la provincia del Guayas. Para que eso nos estamos preparando, para eso nos estamos preparando.
Con toda seguridad. Hoy tenemos decenas de miles de...
But don't believe everything you see. Don't believe everything that's on TV or on the YouTube. Why? Because of the fact that there are a number of shells, there are a number of false agents. The CIA has been working within mainstream media in America for years. The MI5 and MI6 have been working within mainstream media in this country for years. GCHQ infiltrates the media. They control the BBC to Bombara. These guys share blood rights and blood ties with each other in their nefarious Illuminati, allegedly Illuminati-based caverns and rituals. This is what they do. That's who they are. They are fraternal brothers. So now is the time. Now is the time for you to get sharp. Now is the time for you to fight the system, to fight the power. But you don't fight by burning down a Bombaras 5G tower. You might get some form of euphoria. You might get some enjoyment from doing that. But that ain't doing nothing, blood. That ain't doing nothing, Star. That ain't the way to fight. How are you going to fight the power when they have armies and tanks and guns and bombs and nuclear weapons and meshes and tomahawks and all sorts of weapons which are beyond our human capability to even imagine? They have the armies as big as 1 million and more. How are you going to fight the power when their forces are so strong? How are you going to fight the power when the police are enforcing law in ways which are unlawful and illegal? Where police are telling residents, get inside, stay indoors, and shut your mouth. In this country, I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. I've seen it. I've been told to get out of the way, you D-head, by the police. We're allowed out, you're not. I've seen police take the law into their own hands because we allow them to. Which is the point. If we allow this shadow government, if we allow these shell governments to come in and institute laws which are basically unconstitutional and illegal, and we don't say anything about it and we don't do anything about it, if we allow them to do that, then hey, believe me, any law which is given, any freedom which is taken in fear will ultimately never be given back. Any law which is given and any law which is taken, any freedom which is taken in fear will never be given back to you. So the freedom to go outside and assemble amongst you and your friends in groups of 10, 50, 100, 5,000, in a football crowd 50,000, that's going to be taken away and it won't be given back to you. Never. If you allow it to stay that way. The freedom to decide whether you want to have an injection, a vaccination or not, that freedom is being taken away from you, believe it or not. The freedom to decide whether you want to pay in cash or pay by credit card or by iPhone, that freedom is being taken away from you. The freedom to say what you want and to spread the message that you think is interesting or funny or controversial, that used to be a freedom. It's no longer a freedom. Freedom of speech, which is a fundamental human right, is no longer a freedom. It's being policed by the thought police. The thought police are here. This is Big Brother. This is Brave New World. This is Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. If you haven't read it, go read the book. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. This is Big Brother. Orwell. Go read George Orwell's 1984. If you haven't read it, go read it. Now's the time to read. If you haven't read the Bible or past, go read the Bible. What's happening? The most powerful thing in the whole world is your belief. And in the beginning was the Word. What you say, what you do, what you spread with your friends and your family and your kith and your kin. That's the most important thing right now. Spread love, spread peace, spread truth, and don't spread disinformation, madness. Don't jump to the alcohol to replace football or any other false idol. Don't jump to the drugs. Don't jump to the prostitution or the fornication which is being perpetrated on the TV, the adult channels. Don't jump into those as a replacement to fill the void. Don't be beating on your wife, your woman's or your husband or your partners or your children in these times here. Spread some love. Do some reading. Do some meditation. Make yourself forthright. Make yourself fortified with mental, physical and spiritual ammunition. Speaking of ammunition, these Americans, some of them are kind of kitty crazy right now. Getting their guns, getting their handguns, getting their, what you call them things there, their assault weapons ready, locked and stocked and ready. Look, the government over there is ready for you. You can find on YouTube pictures of thousands of tanks and armored personnel vehicles being positioned around America.
You non-believers, this is downtown Los Angeles. They got hella tanks down here. Look, right here. Look, I'm walking across the street for y'all. Look, and this is what we dealing with downtown LA. Y'all won't think I'm bullshitting? Downtown. Look, Dodger Stadium over there, so y'all won't think I'm bullshitting. Y'all better get ready. These motherfuckers about to do some shit to us, bro. This is a whole nother side of the bridge. That shit goes way back over there on that side. This is a whole different side of the bridge. What the fuck? We need answers around here in California. Cause there's no way we got over 100-some tanks, bro. They trying to kill
Remember
us.
all those stories we heard about Walmart and they're setting up these FEMA camps? Well, hey, there you go. Those megalomaniac conspiracy theorists may have been right when it came to that. But hey, don't watch that. You can't fight these devils. You can't fight these politicians. You can't fight these military armies and generals and police, mad dog police. You can't fight them with their tools and their weapons. Why? Because they're trained killers. All of them are trained killers. They are all trained killers. That's what they do. They kill. So when the army is coming in to help, for me that sends up a red flag. Because the army is good for one thing. To enforce takeover, to enforce control, to enforce the wills and whims of the dictators, of their Führer, of their leader, of their field marshal, of their captain, of their capitan, of their leader and general, of their king, of their queen. That's what armies do. Armies don't really help. They help themselves, yes. Historically that's been the case. But they don't help. They're not there to help, in my opinion. My humble opinion. Go and research and find out for yourself. And if there are soldiers out there who are torn in between whether to enforce the orders and the rules that they've been told to do, or to facilitate people's human rights and civil liberties, then make the decision. Well, you will be held accountable. Like, I will be held accountable. If a policeman tells me to go inside my house and hurl a barrage of abuse at him and smash him down physically, then I will be held accountable for that. I'll go to jail for that. I'm beaten beyond here and next week for that. That's what will happen. If you go against the government, they will kill you, because that's what they are trained to do. I'm not saying be prepared physically in that military manner. I'm saying be prepared physically, keep your body in decent shape, because the coronavirus, whatever form of megalomaniacal, mad malicious tool that they've got prepared for you, it will prey on the bodies which are weak. A diet based on McDonald's and KFC is not going to help to sustain you in these times here. Yes, sure, the fat excesses will help to feed you during these times of little, of famine, which are coming, but it won't sustain you. You'll be more susceptible to be a victim of the disease if you don't have a good body, a good physique, a good physical, dietary, nutritional basis for any onslaught, because your body has all the tools that it needs. It has all the tools that are necessary to fight any virus, any bacteria, any antigen from outside, any contagion from outside. Mostly, if you have a decent immune system. Similarly, mentally, mental fortitude, be well read. Don't just watch YouTube and think that's enough. I can watch YouTube, I can watch this channel, listen to that channel, listen to this preacher, listen to that imam, and then that's my homework done. That's it. I heard the good word and now I'm saved. No, that's not going to help you. Read so that you can lead if need be, so that you can educate others that need be, if need be, so that you can make the decisions when the times come, which are based on information, which are based on knowledge, which are based on... Don't just watch stuff and think that you've got your ideas and your strategies and your tactics all mapped out, because you don't have any tactics to deal with this scenario right now. You don't have any strategies to deal with this scenario right now. Nobody does. 3 weeks ago, if I told you that, hey, a time's going to come where you're going to be sitting down at home alone or with your family, not allowed to go to work, not allowed to go outside, not allowed to go to your football match, not allowed to do X, Y, and Z, you would have said, nigga, you crazy. But hey, I'm not telling you that. I'm saying, look, this is what we're faced with. So do some reading, do some exercise, learn to cook for yourself, learn to make your diet more basic. I'm just trying to give you good information, good advice. You want to call me a conspiracy theorist? Do that. But that's not me. Spiritually, pray to your God. Find the God. Find God. If you don't know him or her, however you conceive him or her to be, then seek. And you will find. It's time to be forthright spiritually, because if you have the armor of God, if you have the right and proper defenses against spiritual wickedness in these times, then it might help to save you. In these times of darkness, if you can become a light in a dark room, it takes just one light to brighten up and sparkle up the whole room. If you can become that bright light for others around you and your family, when everybody's feeling down because they're told corona, death, this, death, 24/7. It makes people feel scared. If you can help people feel uplifted in these times here, either by the grace of God or by the grace of Allah or Jehovah or Krishna or however, from wherever, from whence it comes, then do that. Be that light. Be that spark. If you want to believe the experts, the scientists, the technocrats, the politicians, that's your choice. But whatever choice you make, you will be held accountable for. Most so-called conspiracy theorists that I've ever come across, when you listen to them, they say, do your own research. Do your own research. Don't believe me. Don't believe me. Find out for yourself. Here's the information. Go and find out the information. Go and find it out for yourself. If you believe the global 2000, if you believe the plan 2020, if you believe the plan for 2030, if you believe there's a immunity passport coming, a forced vaccination campaign coming, a one world government coming, a conspiracy to have one world army coming, a one world currency, and all. If you believe one world religion, if you believe all of these things, that's up to you. But I would say, if you're not sure about them, go and do your own research. Look into them and see if there's any credence or semblance of sanity behind some of the madness that we hear. The thing that I don't like is when the authorities, in this case, the technocratic authorities, Facebook is a bigger authority in many instances than Bombaras local governments and governments. Because Facebook operates to billions of people. Literally. When they tell you, oh, we're now going to sanction, we're now going to censor what information you can send. When they tell us that, to me, that's a massive red flag. I don't like that. That, to me, that stinks. If they say that you can't spread information that David Icke's been talking about, that's taking away his freedom of speech. And that's taking away our freedom of association and our freedom of speech also, in effect. And there's something wrong with that. If you don't understand that, if you think, oh, well, it saves lives and it saves the NHS if you don't spread misinformation, because if people believe this misinformation, then it's going to create problems, then I would say, hey, have a word with yourself. If you believe that 5G is good for you, if you believe that Boris Johnson has been put into intensive care and he's been cloned and replaced with a nefarious alien from planet wherever, then that's up to you, whatever you believe. If you believe that globalism is the only way forward, then that's up to you. But I respect the fact And I respect those conspiracy theorists, so-called alternative thinkers that come and tell you, look, here's my information, here's my story, but don't believe my story. Don't believe my information. Go and find out for yourself and think for yourself. I believe people that do that. And I'm more inclined to take what they say as opposed to some Facebook bot or some BBC propaganda puppet telling me that's shill and that's fake news, that's misinformation. If vaccinations are so good for you, why don't they tell you the ingredients of the vaccinations? And why don't they give you a choice? Why are they going to force vaccinations down your throat? And I've even heard members of the United Nations, or was it the World Health Organization, say that a time may come with this corona where they will come into you, they will have the power and authority given to it, bestowed unto them by governments, to the World Health Organization and the United Nations, so that they can come into your house and take children away from you. Because they may have the corona. Baseless, no evidence, no basis for their actions, but they will have that power to do that. If you're faced with a choice of getting a chip, or getting an immunization, or getting a vaccination, or spending the rest of your time in jail, or in social isolation, which is part of the trick that they use in China, then that choice is up to you. You choose, you lose. This is the end game now. These are the end times now, for many. But then this is just another day. For many others, it's just another day. It's just another battle. It's just every day is a struggle for some. Every day is another hustle for others. I think that right now these times are great in certain respects. It gives you time to reflect. It gives you time to train. If you can't do press-ups, if you can't do push-ups, if you can't do pull-ups, if you can't do squats, go and practice some. Get some physical exercise done. If you can't read this language, if you want to learn another language, go and learn it right now. If you can't cook, go and learn to cook for yourself. If you've got a garden, go out and enjoy the sunshine while it's here. Many of us were trapped and were locked in the inner city. Many of us will realize after this that being in the inner city is not really where we want to be or should be at these times right now. It's better to live in the countryside. But then they say the grass is always greener. I would say that these times here present a real opportunity. I would urge you not to go and burn down the Bombarras 5G towers. I would urge you not to perform any form of so-called criminal behavior. Don't do it. It's just not worth it. Don't do it. Why are you going to burn down a 5G tower and spread noxious gases, poisonous gases around the local neighbors? The gases are probably going to do more harm than any of the radiation emissions from the tower. I don't know. I would suggest that. If you burn it down, guess what they're going to do? They're going to hide it in the walls. They're going to build towers which have flameproof or inflammable. They'll make it so that you can't burn it down. They'll build better, bigger, stronger. You don't go out and commit criminal activity just off a whim, just because some geezer on the YouTube tells you, oh, this is a military web of destruction. This is a death web. This is the kill radius. Come on, man. If you believe that these people in power want to kill you, which undoubtedly some people do believe, then do whatever you can to stop them from killing you. But how many of you are going to put down your PlayStation? How many of you are going to put down your Bombarras mobile phone? How many of you are going to switch off your mobile phone? In fact, don't even listen to me on YouTube. Turn off your YouTube. Turn off your router. Turn off your TV. Turn off your radio. And then you will fight this so-called power. This is me, Anthony Olatunji. No, it's not me, it's you. Honest, saying peace.